Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Learn Data Analytics with Blessing. In this video, we're building your first report using Microsoft Excel. As a data analyst at R&S Superstore, a leading retail company with operations spanning across various locations, selling diverse range of products to different consumer segments. Your task as a data analyst is to run a detailed analysis with the company's sales data. And what is the objective? You are to draw valuable insights relating to the profitability, relating to the performance, relating to the product, and also the customer behavior. You've been given some objective to work with. There are some questions you are to answer with that data, with your analysis. So who is ready to build this first report with me? If you're excited, let's dive in.
Here we have our case study that we're using to work on this project. Sales performance analysis is what we want to do. So let's check this out. The case study: R&S Superstore is a leading retail company with operations spanning multiple locations, offering a diverse range of products to cater to various consumer segments. The company has established a robust presence in its region and is committed to delivering exceptional customer service and a seamless shopping experience. So what then is your role as a data analyst? Your role as a data analyst at R&S, not R&D, R&S Superstore, is to perform a detailed analysis of the company's sales data. The objective is just to extract valuable insights related to profitability, performance, product, and customer behavior. So using the data set provided by the management, which includes information on the product categories, customers, profits, returns, and sales performance, you would identify key opportunities for improvement and propose strategies to optimize your operations and boost profitability. Let's check the next one. What are the objectives? What are you to do? What is your work now? You have to identify the product categories and customer segment that contributes the most to profit. Then highlight the top 5 customers driving the highest profit and recommend strategies to retain them and further engage these high value customers. Then the next thing is to present the total number of products across categories and subcategories. Then determine the states with the highest and lowest revenue and provide some actionable suggestions to improve sales in places where we have low sales. So identify the shipping mode with the highest percentage of shipped orders, then calculate the average shipping days for each mode, analyze sales trend over time, including a comparison with the previous year's sales. So these are your objectives. These are what you've been told to do, what you should work on. So one key thing you should know, or you should start with first, anytime you have to work on a project, is first understand the objective. Understand what you're asked to do, because if you don't understand what you're asked to do, you will end up solving your own problem and not the company or the organization problem. So first understand what they want to see in your analysis and how you can help them. Understand the objective. Very, 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 very important. It's very important. All right, so without wasting much of our time, let's just go straight. I have my data set I want to work with here already. It's the Superstore data set. So this is just the case study we'll be using for it. Then let's go back. So this is here in Microsoft Excel. What do I want to do first? Of course, I want to import my data into Microsoft Excel. So go to your data tab, then inside your, just come here, then hit get data. So my data is an Excel file. I'm going to hit from Excel workbook, waiting for it to load. So where is this data? It's currently in my desktop. Okay, so I'm trying to scroll down, and here is the data. So import. So I'm loading this data in now into Power Query. This is where it's going to go to. Okay, so we have just this data. Before you can select, this box has to be checked. So check the select multiple items, which I've done, and I'm going to check the Superstore sales data set. Now, the moment I checked the box, you can see that the data is here, showing here. It says data in the preview has been truncated due to size limit. Of course, you can't see all the data here. You can't see everything. You just see limited ones. Now, you can see we have different options. Don't forget I said the first thing you have to do is, if you are sure that the data is clean, you can hit load, right? But to be on a safer side, I'm going to transform this data because I know this data is not clean. I know, so it's always safe to first transform your data before you load it in for analysis. So I'll hit transform data. Then the Power Query tabs opens. Okay, so we have this. Now, when you look at your applied steps, you notice that headers have been promoted. Also, our data types have been changed also. What do? I'm going to check all the data type again to be sure that it is exactly what is there. So I'm checking this. Order ID, I think it's okay this way. Order date showing calendar, so it's a date, ship date, ship mode. This is text. Customer ID, customer name, segment, sales rep. So let's keep scrolling. Sales team, sales, all this. We're just checking the data type now. City, state, postal code. Now postal code, I don't want it to show as number. I want it to be as text. So I'll leave it as text. So do you want to? Yes, replace current step. So I'm replacing that. Then I'm going to, for region, product ID. Okay, product ID. I'll leave it this way. I know I don't want the product, since I'm not going to be using it for anything. It's just an ID. So I'll convert it to text, move from number to text. Yes, I wanted to replace the current step. Then we have category, subcategory, product name. What else do we have? We have sales. Yeah, this is in decimal. I want it to be this way. Quantity, I want it to be this way. Discount, I want it to be this way. Profit, same thing. I'm okay with the way the data are. All right, so the next thing I want to look at is, okay, is my data clean? First, I'm going to look at this line. Currently it's showing column profiling based on top 1000 rows. So I'll profile it to show me the entire data. So that way I get to know if I have errors in my data or I don't have it. I'm going to, what do? Come here, click column profiling based on top 1000 rows and select column profiling based on entire data set. So it will profile the entire data set for every of the columns. So I'm going to do that now. I'm waiting for it to work on it. Okay, so I think it's done already. Now it's still showing this, so it means we don't really have issues with our data. We don't have issues with our data, but you still want to be sure. You can just come, click on your view tab, hit column quality, so it shows you the quality of every data inside each of the columns. Okay, 100% valid. There's nothing there's no error. There's not we don't have any empty cells. Scroll to the last part and you get to see, okay, we don't have any issue. All right. Okay, so I think I'm good with this. Let me just uncheck this box. So I'm going to I'll start checking each of the columns to see if there's something I'm going to do. There's going to be any splitting, or just to be sure that this data is ready for analysis. I'm okay with this order ID the way it is. I'm okay with the order dates. I'm okay with the ship dates. I'm okay with the ship mode. I'm also okay with the customer ID, customer name, the segment, sales rep, and sales team. So what else am I not okay with? I'm okay with everything here except this location ID. You can see the location ID showing, you can see number, then you can see text, right? And here we are seeing all the cities, combining both the ID and the text together. So I need to split this. I don't want it. I only want the numbers. So for us to split, don't forget, select the column. Then you can go to your transform tab. In your transform tab, you'd see split column. So what do you want to split column based on? I want to split it. If you notice, they are all separated by commas. So I'm going to split column based on commas. So by delimiter, then what do you want to do? Okay, by delimiter, you can see it already put out the comma, each occurrences. Then I'm going to hit OK. It means anywhere it finds comma, it will just split that value into two. Scrolling down now, I get to see that I have the numbers and the city name splitted. I'm okay with this now. All I have to do is just delete this location ID 2 because I don't want it. So I would remove it. I don't want it. So that has been removed. And I'm going to just rename this to just be location ID alone. Now hit enter. I think I'm okay with this. I don't have any issue. Just scrolling again. I'm scrolling again to see if I have any issue. I don't. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. So I'm just going to make this I'll make this text, and you notice you're seeing location ID here, you're seeing postal code. They're almost the same thing, almost having the same value, but I'm not going to risk it on it. I'll just leave it this way, the way it is. So I'm done with this. I don't have any other issue. I don't have anything I want to work on. I'm okay with the values here. I'm okay with the data. Now the next thing we are going to do now is to split our data into, just normalize it, split it into fact table and dimension tables. You can, to make your work easy, so you can create relationship within your entities. So now don't forget, when I was talking about data modeling, the first thing you have to identify is the entities. What are the entities? So what are the entities in this data? After the entities, what are the attributes? So from that, you know what I want to split and where you should split them into. Looking at this data, you can see order ID, order date, ship mode. Then we have customer ID, customer name. So this shows that this is talking about customer. So we have an entity for customer. Then we have the segment of the customer. Then we have the sales rep. We have sales team, we have sales manager. Okay, so then we have location ID, city, states, and postal code, then region. This is talking about location. So we have location as an entity here. Then we have product ID, product category, subcategory, product name. This is talking about the entity product. So it means that we have like three entities: the customer, the product, then we have the region, the location entity here. Okay, very good. Then yes, I only want to work with these three. Then we'll just create our dates dimension table and we are good to go to create the model between all the tables together. So now let's split them into fact and dimension tables. Don't forget, it's always, to be on the safer side, it's best that your original data should not be touched at all. It's better you just duplicate it, or duplicate, so that you can have it as a reserve in case you make mistake while working your data. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to duplicate. Now don't forget, if you hit reference, it means anything you do in this first data will also affect the rest, right? So let me just reference it. So I'll hit reference. So it creates another new data for me, and I'll rename this first one to be, I'll rename from Superstore sales data set to be Superstore sales staging. So this is our staging data. Hit enter. So I have this. Now the first one, we have this referenced one. I want to extract details for the customer alone. What do? So click on your home tab, and in your home tab you would see inside the manage column group, you see two commands there, choose columns. I'm going to choose column. What do I want to choose? Choose this, choose column. I only want to choose data for customers alone. So I'll uncheck all. Once I'm done unchecking all, I'll check the customer ID, the customer name. These are the two details about the customers. So I'm okay with this. Hit OK. Then it generates the customer ID and the customer name. And I'll rename this from Superstore sales dataset to dim customers. Dim customers. Very good. Don't forget that your dimension table should not contain duplicates. I mean, it should not contain duplicate. It should just be unique. So I'm waiting for it. Another way you can also rename your work is by right-clicking here and you can see rename, right? But I feel this is just the fastest. We just come here and you're done. Okay, so remove duplicate. In this customer ID, right-click and you see remove duplicate. Currently, if you come here, you will see that you have 2 columns, 999 plus rows. So remove duplicate and let's see what remains when we remove the duplicate. So I'll hit remove duplicate. The moment I hit remove duplicate, I'm waiting for it, waiting. And can you see now we have 2 columns, 199 plus rows. So imagine, look at the difference. 999 plus columns, rows. Look at the difference between that and 199 plus rows. So sometimes duplicates, affect work. All right, we've done this now. We are going to look for the one for location. Location is the next thing here after the sales team manager. So location, we'll reference again, right click, then reference. So this time around, I'll change this from Superstore Sales Data 2 to dim location. Dim location. Hit enter. So choose only columns that contains details about the location step. I'll hit choose column. Doing that, I'm going to uncheck all, then go straight down to where I have location ID, city, state, then the postal code, then the region. So I'll hit OK. I'm okay with this. Now you can see currently it's showing 199 plus rows. So what do? I'm waiting for it to load. Before I do that, waiting for it to load. It's currently loading. So once I'm waiting. Okay, so let's right click and I would remove the duplicate from this location ID column. So remove duplicate. So let's see, I'm going to cancel my step and see what we have before now. So we have 999 plus rows. So remove duplicate. The changes to 199 plus rows. So I'm good with this. Dim location. I'm going to go back to my Superstore sales data and check which other entity do I need to split from this table. I think product goes next. So I'm going to right click, then reference it. Reference, I would name this dim product. Dim product. I'll hit enter. Then I'm going to choose only all the columns that contains details about the product. So I'll uncheck all and I'll check product ID, category of product, subcategory, the product name. Scroll down to see if I have any other details about it. I think I don't. Just this four. Very good. So I'm going to hit OK. So it has all I have here is just for product. Don't forget your dimension table must not contain duplicates. Only the fact table is allowed to contain duplicates. I'm going to wait for it to load. Currently, you can see it's showing the wrong value here. 4 columns, 199 plus rows. I'm waiting for it to load before I remove my duplicate. I'm waiting for it to load. So here you can see we have. Okay. Now, I'm going to right click and remove duplicate. Let's see what happens. Now let's delete it. I don't know why it's just bringing this. Should show the original figure. So you can see the original figure is 999 plus rows. So can you see that it's very important you also vet your data to vet what is showing here. So I'm going to remove the duplicate again. I already deleted the step. Remove duplicate to get the correct value. Now I have 199 plus rows. Very good. I'm okay with this. So the next thing I want to create before I create the fact table is a dimension table for date, a date calendar. So I'm going to, remember I showed us how we can. I would have, I can just say, let me just separate this other date and the ship date from it. But I'm not going to do that. All I have to do now is just check this date out. I'm going to check it. Currently it's profiling based on 1000 rows. So I'll go back and make sure it profiles based on entire data set. Okay, so I'm waiting for it to profile on the entire data set. Then I'll check. Now good, I'm going to check the year. You can see that you're seeing from 2014, right? Scroll down, you're saying 2017. You can see it's saying the list may be incomplete. It means that we still have more. So I'm going to load more to see what I have left. Load more. So you're saying from 2014 down to 2017. Okay, that's for other dates. So the list is 2014 and the highest is 2017. So okay, let's do for ship dates also. Going to same from 2014 down to, you can see 2018. So I'm going to load more to see what other year. So waiting for you to load it. Okay, scroll down now. I'm just going to see the last, still 2018. So it means that if I'm going to create a calendar, I mean a calendar dimension table or a date dimension table, it's going to contain all the dates from 2014 down to 2018. So okay, then I want to create a dimension. So how do I go about that? Let's do this way. So new source. So what do you want to, from other sources, I want a blank query. So I'm going to hit blank query, then I should have it here, a blank query. Then I'll go straight to advanced editor. So what do I want to do? You can see then the source. I want my source to be, I'll change my source from source to start date. Start date. Then what should be my start date? Don't forget, I'm going to use dates.from. Can see it here. So open my parentheses, and inside, what do I want to put inside? Well, it's a 1/1/2014. Right, so I'm going to close this parenthesis. So what else do you want to do? I want to end date, declare my end date. So the end date is going to be in 2018, looking at what we've checked already for both ship dates and other dates. So 2018, so I'm going to use date from, also date from, open my parentheses. So you're saying it's starting from this particular year, then where is it? It's ending when? 12/31/2018. Okay, so I'm okay with this. What else do I want to look for? Then the next thing I want to do is to list all the dates. List, let's give it not full dates. I'm going to name this full date equal to, so that's list.date. I want to list out all the dates between list.date, all the dates between this start date and the end date. So list.date, I'm going to open my parentheses and you get to see all the arguments, the syntax of list.date. Can say the first argument here is the start as date. So start as date is the start date. Start date, you can see it here, start date, then comma. Then the next one is count as numbers. I want to subtract the start date from the end date, but since it's showing count as number, it means I'm going to extract, instead of date in date format, it's going to be in number format. So I would say first, let's say we want to do comma, we want to say end date. Let me put it first, end date. So you're saying end date minus start date, right? Now, since it says count as number, so it means it has to be formatted to be in number form. So I'm going to use the function called number from. So I'll use number dot from. So you can see here number dot from. So I'll wrap number dot from. I'll open my parentheses and wrap my end date inside of it. Close my parentheses. So you can see the same. You're saying extract number from the end date minus. I'm going to do the same thing for start date. Number from. Number dot from. So I'm doing the same thing for start date. Open my parentheses and put start date. You can see start date here. Now, so to be on the safer side, to be sure that all the dates, none of it is missing, so I'm going to put +1. So in case there is a missing date that was not counted in, this +1 would help us add it in. So just to be on the safer side, I'm putting this +1. So I'm going to put comma. So the next argument is step as duration. So what is going to be like the interval between them? So hash duration. Now put my parentheses. Then I'm going to put 1,0,0,0. So it means 1 day each, 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. That is what it means. So I'm okay with this. Then in. So what should be the output? Return all the full date. That is the output, the full date. So now let's see what and what is here. So you can see it's showing no syntax error have been detected. It means your code is okay. You don't have any error. So but if you notice that you can see one star, one red cross sign. By cross I mean times, letter X. It means that you have an error in you'll be informed if you have an error, you'll see it there. But currently saying no syntax error have been detected. So I'm okay with this. I just said I've declared the start date, declared the end date, and I've already generated the full date from all the dates between the start and the end dates, and now I want it to return all the full date that I've generated. So I'm going to hit OK. So let's see. So can you see all the dates, list of the dates here? You have them here. All right. So now let's do something. That's just rename this to dim calendar. I'm going to give it dim calendar. I'll hit enter. Currently this is showing as a list. It's not a table yet. So I'm going to convert this list to a table. How do I do that? I'm going to hit to table. So currently it's saying, okay, create a table from a list of values. Do you have any delimiter? No, I don't have any delimiter, so I'll just none. Show as error. No. So it's asking you, how do you want to handle extra columns? Do you want to show them as error, or you want to truncate extra columns, or you want to accumulate into last columns? So I'm not doing anything to this. I just leave it at this, and I'll hit OK. So it transforms. So you can see I'm saying column 1. I'm going to rename this from column 1 to just date. Then I'll change this from ABC. I'll change the type from ABC 123 to date. So you can see date. I'm okay. Now I'd like to add other columns to this date column. Come here to your add column. Since you want to add other columns, since the date column, select the column you want to work with, which is the date column. Then come here in this from dates and time group. You see the command date. Click down. I want to see the year, so I'm going to ask you to extract the year from this data. It extracted the year from it. Very good. Then I want to extract the month. So I'll come here to this same date, month, and I would say, okay, I want it to extract, to give me the name of the month, which I've done now, name of the month. So what else do I want it to do for me again? Come here. I want it to show me, okay, yeah, I want it to return the quarter of the year. Very good. So I also wanted to show me the week, so I'm going to put start of the week. If you want day, you can just add this. So I think I'm okay. Let's add day. So I'll just come here and add day, and you want to show the name, anyone you want to put, but let's go with the day. So I selected day here. You know what, let's just remove. I don't want to work with this, so I'm going to just cancel the step. So I'm okay with this one. I'm okay. Can you see we just created a dim calendar? And the last thing we're going to create is the fact table. The fact table is the one that contains the measures and the facts about the data. dimension table describes the fact table. So I'll come here, right click, reference, then I want to choose column. Now, so come here to choose column. So don't forget, when you are choosing your column, make sure you include the primary keys in the dimension tables, include them in the fact table. They will serve as the foreign keys there. What do I mean? So I'm going to uncheck all. I'm going to check order ID. Order ID is like the primary key for the fact table, the unique ID for the fact table. Then the order date, then the ship date, I want it here. Then the ship mode, I want it here. Now, customer ID is the unique identifier for customers. I will check this, but I will not check customer name. I'll check segment, which is like an event repeated. Then I want sales rep, leave the sales team, leave the sales manager, select location ID, it's very important. Then product ID, leave the rest. These are describing the location ID. Then come here and select the sales, quantity, discount, and profit, and hit OK. Okay, so now the next thing we are going to do is to rename this from Superstore sales data set to order fact table to show that this is a fact table, order fact table. So I think I'm okay with this. Now we've splitted our tables into dimension tables and fact table. We have the dim for customers, we have dim for cost. Okay, let me hit enter for this. We have dim for customers, we have the one for location, we have the one. Now you can see, wait, let's go back and see. We have for customer ID, we are saying this. So what happened? Why are we having over 793 rows now after we removed the duplicate? So I think what happened was that the data, when loaded into Power Query, maybe it wasn't done, and when we were trying to remove the duplicate, it was not done removing the duplicate when it showed that 199 plus. So I think here's the real rows left. So same thing, let's look at for location. Now you can see location also has changed. Then for product, let's see for product is still taking 999 plus. So don't be scared, we are still on the right track. We have 999 plus rows for this is for calendar. Then the other fact table still takes the 999. So let's I think we are done with this place. Now I'm going to close this. Now by closing, I don't want to close it into, when you hit close and load, it loads it in directly into Microsoft Excel, but I don't want it to be that way. So close and load to where it brings other options where you can load this into. So close and load to where, so where do you want to import this data into? Do you want to import it into a pivot table report? Or so I'm just going to hit I want it to pivot table report. Then do you have an existing sheet? That piece is selected, existing sheet, that's how they selected. Then add this data, or automatically it gets added to the data model. You can see this is faint, it's in faint, so you're not allowed to uncheck or check the box, but you can see that it's checked. So I'm going to hit OK. So can you see we have all our details here? Waiting for it to load in everything in. So you can see we have all our data here. Very good. So what else do I want to do? Now let's go back to our, okay, sorry, I think I closed the PowerPoint. Okay, so what we are asked to do is to identify the product categories and customer segment that contribute the most to the profit. So let's go back. Contribute the most. First, when you said we are going to look at customer segment and product category that contributes most to the profit, it means we have to look for the profit. We have to know the total number of profits made, total profits made. I mean, we could have just, since the pixel table is on, just come here and hit and select profit, then to sum it up. But I don't want us to use this method. I want us to create actual measure for it. And to do this, to create the actual measure for it, now a Power Pivot is not showing, so it means I have to bring it in. So come here to option at the backstage view of Microsoft Excel, then let's look at add-ins. Okay, let's check comms add-ins, go. So you can see currently my Power Pivot for this particular Excel file is not. So I'm going to check this and hit OK. So to add it in, so you can see here now we have Power Pivot now. So what do? I come here to Power Pivot, then I want to manage Power Pivot. I want to manage it. Yeah, so can you see all our data here? So to be on the safer side, please, let's do something. Do well to save your work, so you will not hear storage that touches the heart. So I'm going to save this now. Ctrl S to save. Then it's telling me where I'm going to give this. I'll name this sales performance analysis. Performance analysis. Then now let me just put LDA to LDA. Then I'm going to choose where I want it to be. I would like it to be on the LDA. Okay, let me just look for where I want it to be. So I'll browse where it should be. I want it to be here. So we rename this sales performance analysis. LDA. Okay, save. Yeah, this is saved now. So if anything happens, I know I still have access to my data. It's not that I have to cry for it. So let's just go back to our Power Pivot. Okay, manage data. Now what I want to do now is to create relationship between my data. First and foremost, I will have to, let me see, can I hide? Okay, let's hide this from client tool. When I hide this staging data from the client tool, you won't get to see it in the main table here. Scrolling down now, you won't find it here anymore. Can you see? You can't find it here because I've hidden it there in Power Pivot. So I have the dim customer, the dim location, dim product, dim calendar, the other fact table. So as usual, before we start creating those measures, you have to create a relationship between your tables, between them, so that whatever you want to find, you'll be able to find them or get the accurate result. Currently, you're seeing the data view, so I'm going to hit diagram view. This is diagram view now. So I'm going to arrange it, create a model to be in the star schema form. Bring my dimension table for customer here, put for location here, for product here, and for dim calendar here. So now one thing you should know, anytime you import a data for calendar that you want to use for calendar, make sure you mark it as a date table. You mark it. So I'm going to go back to my data view. So here I'm in data view. Come here to dim calendar. And what else do you want to do? Let's look at, hit the design tab, and you see mark as date table. So I'm going to mark it as date table. So marked. Do you want to mark? So what exactly? So select a column to be used as a unique identifier for the date table. I want the date column to be the unique identifier. I'm going to hit OK, and it will mark it automatically. For you to confirm that, just go back and you see that this box is checked. So it means it's a date table. Now it's now marked as a date table. So let's go back to our home tab, then you hit the diagram view button. We start creating a relationship between. We don't need this. You can see it's in a faint color. We're already hidden it from the client too, so it's not visible on the Microsoft Excel interface. We have customer ID. We want to start creating relationship between our tables. We have customer ID here. Here is the primary key here, but currently in the other fact table, it's the foreign key. So I'm going to drag the customer ID here, drag it and place it here. A relationship is incorrect. You can see one to many. Don't forget, this star indicates many. It means that a single instance of the customer ID here is related to multiple instances of the customer ID on the other fact table. So the next one is the location ID. So location ID here, drag it. I'm going to drag this down a bit so I can see the rest. Do we have location ID here? Yes, we do. So I'm going to drag this to location ID. So I have a relationship should be created. Very good. You can see one to many. It's okay. For product ID, the same thing. I'm going to drag this to product ID here. A relationship is being created. You can see very okay. Next one is the dim calendar. So dates to, I want it to be with the order date. So I'm going to drag this now to the order date. Or even though we have two dates column, if I should create a relationship with this again, one has to be inactive and the other will be active. So let's say I'm creating with this one, with the ship date, you would see something, it would become inactive. So when you see these dotted lines, it means that relationship between those two columns is inactive. It's not active. The only one active is just the one with the order date, and that's because maybe I want to see something. I want to see something using that. You can always come and change which one should be active and which one should not be active. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this one. Let's go back to our home tab. Okay, we're currently in the home tab. Our data view. Then in the calculation area, from the first objective, we are to identify product categories and customer segment that contribute the most to the profit. So, and I said I don't want us to just drag and drop the profit column in the pivot table to get the results. I want us to create the measure, to calculate the measure using some DAX functions. So here, I'll go to my fact table. I want to create all my measures in my fact table. So select anywhere in the calculation area, and once I've done that, just come here and I'm going to give it, type in total profit. Don't forget your colon, then equal to sign. So what do you want to find out? To find sum of what? Now, also one other thing you should note. Okay, let me just put this in. Sum of what? I want sum of profit. So you can see the profit here. So since I'm currently in the order fact table, I might not need to pick this and just select profit because I'm doing calculation here in the order fact table. I didn't mean I'm doing it here in maybe in the dim product or dim calendar, and I want to reference to the profit column in the order fact table. I can now select this that carries the the table name and the column name. But since I'm currently in the order fact table, there's no need for that. But whichever way we want to do it. So I select profit here, and I'm going to hit enter. So we should have a result. Currently, you're not seeing it well. So I'm just going to drag this a bit so we can see the results. So you're seeing this. It's exactly the same result as when we drag it in the pivot table. But I wanted us to create a measure for it. Now, before you just start anything here on your Power Pivot, you have to be sure that everything are in order too. So I'm going to check this, the order ID. It's in order. right? And you can see the general format. Currently the format here is showing text. You can see for other dates, but you notice for that it's showing dates, but the format is showing as dates and time. So I'm going to change this from date and time to, I'll change it to just short dates. So I'll select, I'm going to go with this one. I'm okay with this. I'm going to do the same thing for the ship date too. I'm okay with this. Then this is okay. Text, the customer ID text, the segment text, sales area text, then sales team text. Yeah. Now, I don't know why this is bringing what we already splitted. Okay, so let's just continue that. We'll check that out. Okay, so I have the product ID, then I have the sales, which is showing decimal, quantity, then we have the discount, and we have, okay, so one of the reasons why we are having this, I just remember now, is because I made a mistake. I didn't save my work, and maybe while doing it again, I did not remember to split this. So that's why I'm saying this. But when you split it, you need to definitely show here that it's splitted. So you're seeing it this way because I did not split when doing it again. Okay, so that's all here. All the data types are correct. They are correct. Correct. Okay, so we have this. You can format this also. I'm going to reduce decimal. Before you reduce decimal, just make sure you even add your dollar sign. I'm adding the dollar sign to it, and I'm going to be reducing the decimals too. So this is for the profit, right? Now let's go back to our pivot table. Here in pivot table, you would notice something. If I click on this drop down button, let me just select the active ones. So scrolling down, if I click on the drop down buttons for, you can see FX, total profit. This means this is a measure you calculated. This FX, anytime you see any column, any field here carrying this symbol FX, it means that it was created. It was a metric created, a measure created. So let's just, I'll remove this, then I'll add this total profit. So you can see the total profit here. Still the same thing as when we just dragged it into the pivot table. I'm going to copy it, Ctrl C, then paste it here, Ctrl V. Don't forget, from the objective, we are told to, now let's go back to the objective. We were told to identify the product categories and customer segments that contribute the most to the profit. So you're going to be looking at the product categories and the customer segments. So I'll go back. Come here. So here, product category. So go to your product, then select category. So remember, I select category, it goes straight to the rows, and you can now see that we have furniture over 18,000. Office suppliers have this, technologies have this, and you can see, you looking at this, you get to know which of the category generates more profit for the company. You can see that. So I'm going to rename this to be product category. You can always rename this product category. Product category. Now hit enter. I'm okay with this, right? From this, I already answered the question looking at it. Now come here, Ctrl V and paste it. This time around, we're told to look for the one for a customer segment. I know the customer segment that generates the most profit. So I'm going to just scroll down. Then first, I'm going to, the customer segment is in the other fact table. So I'm just trying to collapse all this. So drag this out, category out. Then I'm going to select the segment. So here we have segment. So you get to see that the segment with the name consumer is the one generating much profit for the company. And you see how pivot table is summarizing your data. So I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C. Don't forget to rename. So I'll rename this from product category to segment. Let me just give it a segment. Enter. Then what else do I want to do? Let's go back and check what else are we told to do. I'm going to come here. We have to highlight the top 5 customers driving the highest profit and recommend strategies to retain and further engage these valuable customers. First, let's get to know who these customers are. So I'll come back here, right? To the pivot table, then highlight all this, Ctrl C, bring it here, Ctrl V. Then I would drag out segment and drag in the customer name, right? Just dragged in the customer name. So what do we want to do? We want to see the top 5 customers that generate more profit for the company. It means you have to sort this total profit in descending order where we get to see the highest down to the least. So I'm going to right click. I just selected somewhere, right click, and you can see sort. So sort from what? I'm going to sort from largest to smallest. So I hit sort from largest. So you can see now we have Tamara Chand, we have Raymond Butch, we have Sanjit. So if you scroll down, you get to see that these people, it's from the largest to lowest actually. And we're told top 5, just top 5. So I'm going to now right click. I selected just somewhere in the segment, the name of the customer. So I'm going to change this from segment to customer name. Careful so you don't make that mistake and leave it like that and start mixing things up. Customer names. So right click. Then let's see what we want to filter. Filter top. Just select top 10. Even if you're not looking for top 10, you want top 5. Select top 10. Then you can change it here from top 10 to 5. Then items by total profit. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. So can you see now we just have these people selected. So I now know Tamara Chand, Raymond Bold, Sanjit Chand, Hunter Lopez, and Andrew are the top people that generate more profit for the company. Let's go back. What else are we asked to do? After that, we have to recommend strategies to retain and further engage these high value customers, right? Now we've done this. Maybe towards the end, when you start putting in your recommendations, you would tell us what should be done to those customers that keeps generating profit for us. Present the total number of products across categories and subcategories. Total number of products across categories and subcategories. So it means we have to count the number of products that we have. Then we would now split them, begin to see them, view them based on their categories and subcategories. So I'll go back. Now, it's very easy. I could have just said use drag and drop to get the total number of products, but I want to create a measure. I don't want to. So how do I go about it? Just go back to my pivot table, still in the measure area, and I would say just select somewhere in the calculation area, and I'll come here and give it total product column equal to. So what do you want to find? I want to find, now I'm going to count. I want to count what? If I use count, it means I want to count the number of products we have in the dimension because it does not contain any duplicate. If I'm going to use distinct count, it means I want to count the number of products in the order factor because it contains duplicate. I'm going to use count, right? So I'm going to use count. I'm using count here, and I'm going to go for the product ID. So product ID is coming from where? Now don't forget, since I'm using count, it means I want to count. I want to know the exact number of products that we have. Meaning I'm going to be counting the number of products in the dimension table for products. Don't make that mistake. If you're going to be counting the number of products in the order fact table, then I think we should just use the order fact table. No, let's use the dimension table. Let's use them, but don't make the mistake. Anytime you want to count the number of products on the order fact table, make sure to use distinct count because that fact table contains duplicates. So I'm going to make sure I'm selecting the one from the dim product ID. That's from the product table. Then I'm going to close my parentheses and just hit enter. So I get to see the number of products that we have. So you can see it's showing that we have over 1,894 products. Can you see that? Makes a lot of sense. So I'll go back to my so you can see this now. If you scroll down to your order fact table, you get to see the measure for total products here. Can you see? I'm going to come here, Ctrl C, then paste it here too. Ctrl V, then I'll drag out total profits and drag and just check the box for total product. You get to see this is the number of product that we have, right? Now, the main thing, these are just the key metrics, the key things that you need to also work on those objectives. Now, we have to calculate the total number of products across categories and subcategories. So I'm just going to go back across categories and subcategories. So I'll go back, Ctrl C, copy this and paste it here, Ctrl V. Okay, so what do? I'm going to drag in, still in the products. I'll just check the category is checked, right? I'm going to check category, then subcategory, then I'm going to drag out this total profit and I'll check total product. So can you see this? It's showing the product category, the total product, the product category, subcategory of it, and the total products in those categories. You can see in the furniture, you're seeing bookcases. We have 50 bookcases. For the chairs, we have 88. For furnishing, we have 188. For tables, we have 57. I can see also for office supplies, you get to see the subcategory inside of it and the number of products in those subcategories and under those categories. So I don't want it to be in this format. I want to change the design of this pivot table. Just come to design, this contextual type design. Come here, then you can see report layout. Click on the drop down button beside report layout. I don't want it to be in this format. Show it, let's see, currently showing in compact form, so I want it to show in a tabular form. The minute I hit show in tabular form, you can see it's split. You now have a separate column for category and a separate column for subcategory, and now you have column containing the total number of products in each of these categories and subcategories. Very good, right? Now I'm okay with this, so let's just go and check present the number of, so I'm done with this part, and you can decide to say, okay, let me just arrange it in a way that shows highest to lowest. So right click and you're going to sort from largest to smallest. You get to see, oh, in office, in furniture category, you're seeing that furnishing takes the highest, then bookcases is the least. In office supply, you can see paper take the highest, and you can see supplies take the least. In technology, phones is at the highest, then copiers are the least. See, if you want to. Then what else do I want to do? Let's check again. The next thing we want to look at is determine the states with the highest and lowest revenue and provide actionable suggestion to improve sales in low performing regions. So first we have to view those states based on the revenue. So I'm going to go back. If we are going to be viewing states based on revenue, we have to know the total number of revenue that we have. So I'm going to go back, right? You can see we have sales, right? And we have quantity. Okay, so this is the revenue. So you have to sum up all the sales table, all the sales. So I'm going to go back and come here, then I'll put revenue, then colon equal to revenue, column equal to. So what do I want to do? I want to find the sum of what? Sum of the sales. Since we are on the order fact table, just select the sales, then close my parentheses and I'll hit enter. So I should have a value here. Then I'm going to add the symbol, a dollar sign, and I'm going to reduce decimal. I have this. Let's just go back to our pivot table. So if you scroll down, you should have the measure that we created here. You can see it, revenue. So what do I want to do? Want to view each of the states based on the revenue that was generated from those regions. So I'm just going to, let me copy. Okay, copy this. Well, let me just copy a single one. Ctrl C, then bring it here, Ctrl V, and I'll drag out segment, drag out total profit. I'll come here to my location, drag in check state, then go back to check, put down, to check the revenue. And I would sort this revenue from largest to smallest, so I get to see it. So you get to see can see California, we generate the highest revenue from California. Then the least country where we generate revenue from, looking at this, is North Dakota. So can you see how pivot table is summarizing that data? Can you see the large number of data that we have there? Pivot table is doing the work for us to just, even if we had to create our measures ourselves, we're using just dragging and clicking, you're getting your results, you're getting your data summarized. Okay. Then let's check again. What else do you want to do? We've determined the state with the highest and lowest revenue, right? Then identify shipping mode with the highest percentage of shipping orders. Identify shipping mode with the highest percentage of shipping orders. So it means if you want to get the shipping mode with the highest percentage of shipping orders, you have to first calculate the total orders that we have first before you now split them into different proportions, right? So I'll go back, total orders. I'll go back to my pivot, power pivots, select somewhere else under the calculation area, then come here and I would type in total orders equal to total orders. So what do I want to do? Total orders, I want to find, and I'm going to count. I'll count all the order ID, total orders. So this time around, you don't need to, order ID, count. Open, we don't remove duplicate from the fact table. So the number of times that anybody comes in to purchase something, any order he or she placed, taking that way. So order ID, you can see the order ID here. Then I'm going to close my parentheses and I'm going to hit enter. So you can see that we have, so you can get to see we have over 9,994 orders has been placed so far. So I'm going to go back to my pivot table. Pivot table. What are we going to, the sheet where the pivot table is, so what are we going to do? We've been told to just find, identify the shipping mode with the highest percentage of shipping orders. So I'm going to come here, right? Then copy one of the pivot tables again, Ctrl C, then I'll paste it here. And don't forget, I said always don't remember to rename this country. Okay, I'm going to rename this from product category to, I'll give it shipping mode. Then what else do I want to do? Now I'm going to drag out this category from it, then go to my other factor because that's where I have the shipping mode. So I'll check shipping mode, then drag out total profits, scroll down and you can see total orders. Here we have total orders. Don't forget we were told to find it is percentage. You have to change this from this number it is to percentage. How do I do this? Just come here, value feed settings, then show value as what currently is on no calculation. I'm going to say show it as percentage of the grand total, then I'm going to hit OK. So you can see this. I want to leave it the way it is. I'm okay the way it is. We get to see the highest shipping mode with the ship mode with the highest percentage of orders placed is standard class. So and the list is same day. So you can see that. Then let's go back and check what else are we looking for. Calculate the average shipping days for each mode. Calculate the average shipping days for each mode. So let's go back. For us to calculate the average shipping days for each mode, we have to look at the number of days between the date it was ordered and the day it was shipped. So I have to go to my Power Pivot. So we have to create a new column that is going to be shipping days. So if you want to get the number of shipping days, it has to be the date difference between the order date and the ship date. So for me to do that, just come here, hit add column. The moment I'm going to give this ship days, name it ship days. I'll hit enter. Then the moment I hit enter, you should see a comma here. I said a comma, sorry, an equal to sign, not comma. So we have an equal to sign. What do you want to find? I want to find the date difference. You can see date diff. So it says returns the number of units specified in interval between the input to date. So I'm going to double click on this. The first argument is date 1, which is the order date. I'm going to type in order date. This is the order date. Then comma. The second argument is the date 2, which is the ship date. Can you see ship date? Then the next one is the interval. Do you want it to be based on day, hour, minute, month, quarter? I want it to be on day because it's the ship days I want to find, and that is what was requested for. So I'll hit day and I'll close my parentheses. I'll hit enter. So can you see now that the number of days it took for the person that placed the order, then for that goes to be shipped to the person. For each of the products, we now have result. We have number of ship days. So for us to get average ship days, it means we have to first calculate the total number of ship days first before we look for the average. So I'll come here and I'll say okay, so I've selected this. Now since we don't even need, let's just avg ship days then equal to, so what do I want to find? Average of all the column name is ship days. Can you see ship days? So you should just generate the average for me, and I hit enter. So can you see that's around 3.95 forms? Let's just reduce decimal. I want it to be in 2 decimal places, so 3.95 is okay for me. 96 I mean is okay for me. I'm good with this. Let's just go back. So we've gotten the average shipping days for each of the, now it's for each of the mode. So we'll put that. Then analyze sales trend over time, including a comparison with previous year sales. So let's just go back, calculate the average shipping days for each of the modes, which I've done already. Average shipping days for each of the mode. So let's just Ctrl C. I'm going to put this here, Ctrl V, and I'm going to remove this order, total orders, and I'll put in average shipping days for each of the modes, so we get to see the average shipping days for them. Then what else are we to find? Let's check again. We are to analyze the sales trend over time, then include a comparison between the previous year sales, that is the previous year revenue generated. So it means you have to find the previous year sales. So let's go back. Now we have to find previous year. We already generated the revenue, so what is the previous year revenue? I'm going to come here, select here, then I'll just put prev dot year sales. Then what else do I want to do? Put my colon and equal to, then I want to calculate the previous year sales. So previous year sales is what we want to calculate, but yeah, so let's just put revenue, comma, since we already created a measure, You don't need for us to start calculating again. Revenue, then what else? Date odd. This is like the time. Okay, so hold on. Date odd. So the first argument is the date. So which is like the date from our dim calendar, date from dim calendar. So date, comma. The next argument is the number of intervals. Since we're looking at previous, that's be -1. Previous -1, comma. Then previous year sales. The interval is going to be year, so I have to put year. So you can see here, year here. Then I'm going to close my parentheses. I'm going to hit enter. So let's see. So I'm going to add my $sign, then reduce decimal. So you're saying it's currently showing the same thing, right? And that's because we've not applied any filter to it. So of course it will show the same thing. Currently there's no filter applied to it. So let's go back to our the sheet where our pivot tables are, and let's see. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C, then paste it here, Ctrl V. So what do I want to do? I want to see, I'm just going to add I'll just add both the revenue and the previous year revenue together. So revenue and the previous, I would have just named this previous year's revenue, but it's fine. So currently, so I'm going to add insert. I would insert a timeline, or let me insert a slider. So I'll insert a slider, and I want it to take the year. Hit OK. So I have my slicer here. Now you can see the slicer. So if I hit 2018, so let's see what happens. 2018. Now, if I hit 2017, can you see in 2017, we are seeing this as a revenue currently in 2017. So this is for 2016. You can see previous year sales. If I hit 2016, you are saying this is for the revenue currently for 2016. Then this is for 2015. If I hit for 2015, you can see this is for 2015. Revenue is for this revenue here is for 2015. Then this previous year sales is for 2014. Can you see that? So it's because we didn't apply, you're yet to apply slicer. That's why you're seeing the same amount of revenue for both previous and current year. So let me just clear the filter, and I can see we have the same thing, right? Now let's go back. Do we have any other thing that we asked to find? I think we are done getting everything. So let's check our pivot tables well. If we now those metrics, those key metrics like total profit, total product, then we didn't put, let's just list out all those key metrics. Ctrl C, I'm going to paste it here, Ctrl V, then what else? So I'll remove this from total product and I'll give it total orders. Okay, we couldn't complete the transaction because there's already a pivot. So one of those things we face when so I'm going to delete it, right? Then Ctrl C, let me paste it here, Ctrl V, then I'm going to remove the total product. Okay, so let's see. This one thing about pivot tables now. Total orders. So I'm going to drag out total product. So I'll shift this here a bit. Okay. Copy this again. Ctrl C, paste it here. And what do I want to show? So I'm saying currently I see the total profit, total product, total orders. So what does I want to show? I want to show the previous revenue and previous year revenue. Then I would like to show. So I'm going to add revenue and drag out the total orders. So paste here again, Ctrl V. I want to add previous year revenue, then drag out total order. So you can see, just to arrange all my key metrics: total profit, total product, total orders, revenue, previous year. Should just rename this previous year revenue. So I can rename it here previous year revenue to make it easy to read. Revenue. Then okay. So what else? Highlight everything. Ctrl C, then paste it here. Ctrl V. What I want, last thing I want to show is the average shipping days. So I'm going to drag or check the average shipping days box, then drag out previous year revenue. So I have this. It makes a lot of sense. I like it the way it is now. Then I think I would like to add the year to this year. But I can see when I checked the year, it took it straight to the column. I don't want it to be in the column, I want it to be in the rows. So I'll take it from here to the rows, then drag this out. Okay, so I'm going to check, go back again and just check the revenue, then the previous year sales. So you get to see now in the reason why you're not seeing previous for 2014 is because there's no 2013, so definitely you can't find or see any previous. So you're seeing 2015, you're seeing 2016, you're seeing 470,500, you're seeing 2017, you're seeing 2018. This is the previous year sales, which is like the you can see 733. You can see the same thing with this one for 2017. You're seeing 600 and something. You're seeing the same thing in 2016. So can you see that? I think we are okay with this. I have all my data summarized the way I want it to be. I think the only thing I want to do is just align it, arrange it well. So just going to arrange it well. Don't forget to check if your pivot tables are, some of the titles are correct. So I'm going to change this from shipping modes to just give it a year. I think this is correct. It's correct. Revenue is correct. All this is correct. Now just bring my slicer somewhere around here. And the next thing I want to do is now we like to create visuals to represent these our findings. These findings, we want to create a visual to represent them. So I'm going to come here. I'll rename this to be pivot tables. Pivot tables. Right. Then plus, I'll rename this to be give it report. Okay. So what else do I want to do now? I want to create a report with using a visual to represent all that I've gotten using the pivot table, all the summary from my pivot table. Then I'll just first go to my view tab. I don't want the grid lines to show, so I'll remove all the grid lines. What else do I want to do? I want to Ctrl A to highlight all the background, and I'm going to just change the color of the background, the color to something around this light gray. So I like this way. Okay, so what else do I want to do? Now let's just use visuals to represent all this data. So I'm going to use a column chart. Don't forget I said sometimes simple charts tells more about your data compared to when you use sophisticated or charts that will complicate things. So a column chart will do justice, or a bar chart will do justice to this data, to some of them. I'm going to do this now. This is showing values across various categories, so definitely a column chart or a bar chart would help us do justice to that. I'm going to be using a column chart for 1, 2, 3. Now a column chart for it. So select anywhere, then is either I come here and hit insert, then select the chart I want, or you just come to in your pivot table analyze, you see pivot chart here. So whichever you want to use, I'm going to go with the one with the insert. So I will insert a column chart. So you can see we have a column chart here. Okay, or let's see what it looks like if you use a bar chart. Can just change this. So if I want to format, I want to change this. I'm not formatting now. So I want to change the chart tab. Just come to your design tab, that contextual tab there. Then you can change it to bar chart to give me something like this. You can have something like this. So any one you want to do. I think I'll just go with this bar chart. So Control C, I'll copy it, then come here to paste it. Control V. Just right. So I'm just trying to. Now we are not done. Still trying to represent this our findings with visuals. I'll delete this. I'm going to do the same thing for segment. I'm going to insert a bar chart. I'll copy it, Control C, then I'll bring it here. Control V. So I have it here. Okay, so what else do I want to do? I'm going to go back to my pivot table. I'm going to delete this. Represent this also with a bar chart. So you can also use a column chart at your end, but I want to go with a bar chart as I'm picking bar chart. Bar chart. Control C, then go back. Control V. Reduce the size a bit, and this is just you representing your findings using using visuals, using simple charts, so that anyone seeing it would understand what you are doing. So once we are done with this, it creates a very compelling dashboard, a report to show all this well. So let me go back. I've visualized this once already. 1, 2, 3. So now this category, subcategory products, I would like to use a tree map to show hierarchy, because inside every category we have subcategory, then we'll get to see total number of products. So I'm going to use category. I'm going to use a tree map to represent this information. Don't forget how I explained those charts and how to use them. Insert, and you would, let's see if you still remember what happens if you try to create a tree map from a pivot table. So where's the tree map? This is the tree map. So let's see what happens. So it's saying you can't create this chart type with data inside a pivot table, so you have to bring it out, create a different you have to just bring it out, or you use a different chart to work on it. So I'm going to put equal to, so just equal to, then I'll come here, hit it so to bring it out, and I'll drag to get the rest values for the rest. So this is the only way we'll be able to create our visuals, our tree map. So I'll just remove this. So you can see showing 0, 0, 0, 0 here. So for us to fill that up with the required values, like this, fill all these 0, 0 with furniture, all these 0, 0 with office supplies, and all these 0, 0 under technology with technology. So to do that, we have to go, select the source where we drew the data from. Then you go to your design tab. You can see blank rows, right? You would see report layout. Now in your report layout, you can see repeat all items label. Do not repeat all items. Select this, means repeat all the item label. So hit that. Can you see that all item labels have been repeated? Now scroll down, and I have this. So I can work with this. I'll just highlight this whole data, then insert, and I'll select tree map. So can you see the tree map now? But it doesn't have a title. We're just trying to. So maybe I'm going to give this. I think we didn't name the rest, so we'll do that. I'm going to give this. Let's give it Ctrl Z to bring it back. So I'm going to give it products product distribution based on category and subcategory. So can you see this? Now I'll just copy this. Currently you're saying it's telling you this blue side is for furniture, office supplies taking the orange color, technology is taking this color, right? So what do I want to do? But I don't want it to be this way. You can always change the property. You can adjust it the way you want it to be. First, let's select this. So if I want to change this, but I don't want it to, it's currently showing overlapping. If I don't want it to show overlap, I want to show banner. To show this way, so you get to say, okay, this is office supply, this is technology, and but I think I would leave it as overlapping so that it takes this, so you to have the legend. Ctrl C, then come here and paste it. Just paste it somewhere. Another one is just we trying to represent our findings or our summary with visual. So you can still, don't forget, because this is not showing the labels yet. Okay, so let's just, you know what, before, let's just go continue, then we'll come back to it. Right, we'll come back to it. So I'm going to go back to my pivot table and I'll delete this. Right, I'll delete this. Then what else do I want to have gotten this? The revenue. Now I want to look at the shipping mode and the total orders, percentage of total orders placed, right? Then shipping mode, average ship days. Then this is for line chart. So let's just look at this. I'm going to use a do not chart to represent. This is showing different proportions of the shipping mode. So I'll use the do not chart to represent this information. I'll just Ctrl C, bring it back here, Ctrl V, paste it. Okay. Okay, so let's go back and see what else we want to do. I'm going to delete this, deleted this. So what else we want to do? The average ship days. So I'm going to use you can see that most of my chart that I'm using, they're almost the same thing. I'm not trying to use different chart that will complicate things. Sometimes you can just use three charts to represent all your data and to still give or tell the insight you wanted to tell. Insert, so I'm going to use a bar chart. Ctrl C, I would come here and I would paste it, Ctrl V. So what else do I want to do? Oh, this is just me trying to, we're not done, just trying to use visuals to represent our data. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. For this last pivot table here, I want to add a field that contains the date hierarchy, where once I drew the year, I get to see the quarter and the month and some weeks in it. For me to do that, if I click this now, you can see I only selected year, and if I try to just check the date to see if it will split it for me, it would not. It's only showing the dates in full, so I'm going to remove that. What I'm going to do now is I'll go back to my Power Pivot, click on manage, then I would try to create a date hierarchy. So you can create a date hierarchy in your model here in Power Pivot. Before I create this date hierarchy, I would like to go back to my data view for the dim calendar. Then I think I've done this. Now let me show you how I did this. I just used the left function to extract the first three letters. Remember the left function. So I used the left function to extract the first three letters from the month name. That is what you're seeing. So you can see the formula here. Left, then into brackets, inserted month name, this column name, then comma 3. That is extract just 3 from it. And that was how we got this. So I'll hit enter. Then let's go back to our diagram view. I want to create a date hierarchy. So for you to create a date hierarchy in your model inside Power Pivot, just can see this icon here. You can see create hierarchy. Click on it. Click on create hierarchy. Then I'm going to rename this to be date hierarchy. Date hierarchy. Okay, hit enter. So for you to add other fields with other columns to it, you have to drag them in. So I'm going with the year first. Year is the highest. Drag this year into the date hierarchy, so it goes straight to the date hierarchy. Then after a year is what? Quarter. Then I would select quarter, drag quarter to the date hierarchy, so it's selected. Then what else do I want to do? I want to drag month, but this time around not month name but month short. The reason why I had to make it, shorten it, is so that when you want to visualize the data using the end of the chart, the names, sometimes if the names are too long, it makes you to be slant and it won't look well on your visual. So it's best you shorten it so that it looks more presentable. Then I'm going to drag month short to date hierarchy. Then the next one I want to drag is the start of the week. Okay, let's do start of the week. Oh, okay, let's put start of the week. So I'm dragging start of the week to the date hierarchy. Hold on. Start of the week to the date hierarchy, and so you can see we have it here. So you have a date hierarchy. Now let's go back to our a pivot table. I mean, here it is. Then I'll just scroll up. You can see date hierarchy here. So check the box for date hierarchy. It's here currently. Just drag it to your rows. Currently it's on columns, and you have this. So if you click on this plus sign, you get to see the quarter, and inside every quarter you get to see the month, so you can see that. Let's go back. So I'm going to insert a line chart for this. All I have to do is to highlight all the detail. Once I'm done highlighting all the detail, then go to my insert tab and I'm going to select the line chart. So I'm picking this line chart, selected line chart. So I get to see, you can see that this blue line represents the revenue, then this one represents the previous sales. So let's see what happens if I hit the plus sign. The plus sign is for you to drill down to the next level. So after the year you have the quarter, so it's showing you this is 2014, these are the quarters in 2014. You get to see which one is higher and which one is low. So you can see here that, okay, this is the revenue itself. Currently it's not filtered. Don't forget, we've not applied any filter to it, so that they are seeing it. So once you start applying filter, you get to see which one. So plus sign for this, you can see this is for the year. So let me go back. I'm going to take it back. Let me leave it at this quarter. Then I'll select Ctrl C and go back to the report, then paste it somewhere around here. Ctrl V. I'm still going to, all this you are doing is just you, like I said, representing all your analysis using visuals, so that even you yourself can understand well before you draw your insight from them. Okay, so what next do I want to do? I think I'm done with this. The next thing, I'm going to delete this one. We're still going back there to do it well. I just want to generate all the visuals before we move to that this part. Then the next thing we want to look at, I think, for country. So for country, you will be needing a map for country, right? Since it's a geospatial data, you need a map for it. So you have to be connected to the internet for you to be able to use the map. And just like tree map, you cannot create a map using the pivot table, data in the pivot table. You have to draw them out. So I'm going to draw them out now. So let me try to be connected to the internet. I'm trying to be connected to the internet. So okay, it's connected. All right, now I'm going to drag all this out. So equal to, I'll come here, select the country, hit enter, then I'll drag out from here. Then I'm going to drag out from here. So background. No, I want to this point. Okay, with this, I'm okay with this. Okay, so I'm going to insert the map chart now. And how do I do that? I'll make sure I highlight all this. Highlighting them, I would highlight everything, then go to my insert tab and insert. You see map. So let's go insert tab. Then here we have our map. Select view map. Make sure you're connected to the internet. That's the only way you can access the map chart. So I would hit map. Then we should have our map. Okay, so we are waiting. Yeah, so you can see the map, but now it's just only showing one particular place, that's Georgia. So I think one of the reasons why we are having this is because really Georgia is the only country here. So I'm going to change this. So I'm going to come here now. Looking at our data itself, you can see it's states, but here we mistake this, just put country instead of state. So I'm going to change this from country to state. Then I'm going to hit enter. So let's see what happens. So can you see it has changed? So it recognized all those all this here as state, not country. That's how you can see this now. So I'll copy this, Control C, then I would bring it here, paste it, Control V somewhere around here. So you can see this. Makes sense, right? And this is how you do it. Okay, so I'm done with this. Now what else do I want to bring into this place? Let's go back and see. We have our pivot tables already, so I'll just delete one. Delete. So don't forget, make sure to change that from country to state, else it will only bring out Georgia for you, just that single place. So what else do I want to? Nothing. I'll just take this slicer, take it there. I'll take it there to this place, bring it here. Control V. I'm going to do something now. And what do I want to do? I'll hit slicer. Then I'm going to increase the column of the slicer. Once I increase the column, it's going to be, I want it all to be on a straight line. Since we have just 5 years there, I want it to be on a straight line. I don't want to put it at the top. Okay, let me just put it here. So what do I want to do? Right, before this slicer, if you notice that, remember I mean that we only used this slicer. We generated this slicer from only one of the pivot table. So if I should right click now and you see report connection, you would notice that it's only connected to pivot table 10 alone. Pivot table 10 alone. So I have to connect it to all other pivot tables so that when I click on any of the year, it slices through all the pivot tables. So I'll report connections, connect everything to this slicer. Check all the boxes. Checking out the boxes. Okay, so I'm done. Then I'll hit OK. If I'm going to reduce this a bit to 90 so you can see. Can you see this? So once I check 2014, it affects all. Can you see 2014? I check 2015, all the visuals are affected. 2016, 2017. So can you see all the visuals are changing? Now we are sure that this slicer is working, is connected to all the pivot tables now. So let me just zoom out a bit, and I would unfilter everything, remove any filtering I've done. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to draw out my insights from this data. So I'm going to insert first, before drawing the insights, I have to, put titles to what I've done so far. Probably add my labels so that once I want to start drawing out the insight, I know what I'm drawing out, I know what I'm working with. Put all the labels, check all the boxes for labels. So this plus sign is where you can get all other things to add your labels to. So for labels, then come here, do the same thing for these labels. Okay, labels. Now I can change this for the text option. Okay, sorry, not text, text option. Okay, so data labels, come here for more data labels options. It's currently showing just category name. I wanted to show the values too, so it's also going to show the values, so you can see the values there. And how do you want it to be? Do you want the value, you want to have the category name, then comma the values, the number of products, or you want it to be in a new line, so to be in a new line like this, or anyone you want. Is it new line? Is it that it should just be a space or period or semicolon? Anyone you want. I'll leave that new line. So what else do I want to do? So I'm going to come here to, I'll add my labels out, and I would say I want a data callout. So we get to see. So you can see this. Yeah. So just, you know what to do at your end. All these that I'm doing. Oh, no. This is going to, let's just leave this at this. So what do I want to do again? The next thing I want to do, I want to adjust all the titles. So what is this? This is category based on profit. Okay, so I'm going to give this profit, categories, profits made. Then do the same thing for, I think this is for segments, customer segment. Based on profit too. Then what else? Then we have for top. So now you want to, if you want to, maybe you want to sort this to be in order. So let's see. There's a way you sort. So just select the bars, right click, and let's sort from. So this is currently okay the way it is, smallest to largest, sort from smallest to largest. So you can see if you hit smallest to largest, you're going to start from the small one. The small one is going to be at the bottom, then the higher one at the top. Same thing, just select the series itself, right click, and you sort from smallest to largest. So it's start from the bottom one to the top. So same thing with this, sort from smallest to largest. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Okay, so what we have for, and let me change this from product distribution. I'm going to give it total number of products, category and subcategory. Category based on the total number of products sold. Okay, so what else do I want to do? I'm going to look at this top 5 customers. Based on profit generated. So you can see that. Then the next, just give this probably geographical analysis. Or I can, since I can just change this from geographical analysis to regions or states where sales were made. So of course, when you hover around, you get to see the country, the state, sorry, and the revenue generated, or sales where revenue of sales were. Let's use revenue to make it sales where revenue were generated or made, generated. Okay. All right. So what else do you want to look at? I want to look at ship mode based on the orders placed. It's a ship mode based on orders placed. Now, what this title would help do to your work is they help those that are looking at your reports understand what you've worked on. So anyone saying this is okay, this is the categories. Now this is product category based on product categories based on the profit made. Anyone saying this will go like, okay, you can see the categories inside the profit generated for each of these categories. Customer segments based on profit inside the, these are the customer segments. You get to know which customer segment generated more profit for us. Okay, so since the labels are on, since the labels are on, we don't need all this. We don't need this X as this. We don't need it. Since we have your labels generated, we don't need them. So I'm going to remove them. Yes. Okay. Now I've done for this. The last one I want to do is for, not last one, second to the last, average ship days. So we're going to look at average ship days for each ship mode. For each ship mode. So what else? We have this one. I'm going to add, currently the chart title is not on. So what am I going to put here? I'm going to look at sales trend over the years. Sales trend over the years from 2014 to 2015. Okay, so we have this, right? Now let's start drilling down through our reports here. This analysis we've done and begin to draw insight from it. So what do I want to do? How am I going to go about that? All I have to do is just, now I would insert a text box. So insert a text box. Okay, so I have a text box inserted. Then the key things I want to note. First is just my insight gotten from the data. So let's start drilling through, and of course we still have some here that we've not, you have to put this as a card visual, but when we want to build the report in full, would insert that, would add it. For now, let's just leave this the way it is, then go back. Okay, so the insights now, from the question, the objective, we are told to identify top categories and top product categories and customer segment that contribute most to the profit. So what did you get from that? What product categories and what customer segment contributes most to the profit? So I'm going to go back now. Sorry. All right. So we have to start generating the insight now. So look at the objective. We were asked to identify product categories and customer segment that generate or contribute more profits to the business. So let's go back and see. So what product category generates more profit to the business? And I'm going to go back and see. It's not enough for you to just glance through and say, oh, technology. Of course, technology is doing that, right? But what? Let's check over the years. So in 2014, what happened? In 2014, we have that. So before we check for 20, let's just change this. It's currently showing the number. Since the legend is showing the values already, let's just change the data labels to not values but the category name, so it will show us, even if it's not going to, but I think this is more preferable. So category name, that is, the country name itself is okay, but though it looks very, very, very small. So yeah, but when you hover around, you get to see it. Okay, so in 2014, I mean, technology was stopping, right? So let's see what happens in this is selected. So when you want to select multiple values in your sliders, if you check this box, everything will be selected. So I'm going to unfilter the detail, then check 2014. So you can see it's only filtered for 2014. So you can see here that in 2014, office supplies was the category that generated more profit for the business. Let's check out in 2015. In 2015, let's see, technology generated more profit for the business. In 2016, we have that technology also. In 2017, same technology. Now, in 2018, now one of the reasons why we are seeing values here for this tree map and for the line chart is because it's extended to 2018, but for the rest, you're not seeing anything here because there's nothing to show for 2018 for them. And the map, it's disconnected from the internet, that they're not seeing anything for the map. So let's just go back to 2017. Yes, so technology has been the one topping. So I'm just going to put here that the technology product category, technology product category generates more profit for the business, while furniture generates the least. So furniture. Now, one thing you should note too, even if you are going to make sure to answer the questions that they ask you, there's times that you also need to generate. You can also, you can also draw insights from the data that they did not even ask you in your objective, to see how you can, in as much as it still boils down to the point that you want to help them, you want to provide solutions to how they can make more profit in their business. So it's not just you answering their questions alone. You can also, their key insight that okay, this can help them. If they should look into this, then yes, of course, why not? Furniture category generates the list. Category generates the list. So since they now know that furniture generates the least profit for them, they might want to check, okay, what's going on? Is it that our furnitures are not good enough, or there's problem with the furniture, or most of our customers don't really like furniture? It will just help them know what to do concerning furniture, to check, are we going to check our customers and maybe begin to advertise to different region or different people, something like that. Just the fact that they now know that furniture don't provide them more profit, then they will know what to do and how to fix that. Okay, so what else do you want to look at? Enter. I want to look at what customer segments generate more profit. Looking at this, the customer segment that generates more profit is the consumer segment. But let's check that out. Okay, this is still filtered to 2017. Let's check in 2014. In 2014, it's still customer segment. In 2015, still customer segment. In 2016, sorry, still consumer, not customer, consumer segment. In 2017, consumer. In 2018, you're not seeing anything because you don't have data for it. Okay, so I'm just going to put, so we have that consumer segment generates more consumer segment generate more profit for the business. Okay, so what else again? We have, what's the next thing we're asked to look at? Highlight top 5 customers driving highest profit and recommend strategies to retain these customers. So let's go back. We've highlighted the top customers generating top customers generating profit for the business are, now if top customers generating profit for the business, we have currently this is in 2017. Now it's let's check for 2014. So 2014, and this is very tricky because we start checking for each year, then but may actually go to the use the current year to judge. So we're going to look at 20. We have in 2014, we have that our top customer is Sanjit Chand with over $5,000+. Like he's the highest here. That's in 2014. So let's see 2015. In 2015, we have Christopher Martinez with over $3,000+. Then I'm picking the top person now. Then in 2016, we have Tamara Chand with over 8,000+. Then followed by Andrian Baton, and we still have Sanjit here. Let's see. In 2017, we have Raymond Butch. We have Ontas Lopez with over 6,005. Then Toms Ashbrook. Then Andy Rieta. Then Jane Wako. Let's see. I don't think we don't have anything for this in 20. So we're going to use 2017 to judge, but we have to check if let's look at use 2016 and 2017 to judge. In 2016, Tamara Chand was topping. I mean, I don't know if it's he or it's she. This customer generates more profit for the business. Then Andrian Baton, then Sanjit Engel, then Bill Shonelly, then Daniel Redglin. Now, these 5 persons, not all, I don't think we have any one of them here in 2017, right? We don't have any one of them here in 2017, none. So let's use 2017 as the top customers that purchased product. But at the same time, I have to look at we don't have any those ones stopping last year. We're not the ones stopping this year. So what's the problem? Let's check what the problems were. Top customers generating profits. Coming, I can spell this well. For the businesses are, we have Raymond. We have Raymond Butch. So if they're going to give all these ones something, we know Raymond Butch. We have Hunter Lopez. Then we have Tom Ashbrook. Then Andy Reiter, and Jane Wako. Okay, so we have Jane Wako as the last person here, the top 5 person. That's in 2017. However, So now let's look at 2016. We have to give them a detailed to let them know. However, Tamara Chand, then Andran Barton, Sanjit Engel, Billy Sean Lee, whatever you call it, and Daniel Reglin, which seemed who were the top customers in 2016. And not the top customers this year, or near the top 5. Now, you can always construct your insights anyhow you want to construct it. The Tamara Chand, Andran Bartons, and Daniel, who were the top customers in 2016 and customers in 2016, are not the top customers this year or near the top 5. Now, so this should be a major concern. I mean, look at in 2017, look at the amount that the highest person here purchased. That was generated from the highest person, that's Raymond Butch. That's around $6,000 plus dollars. And look at compared to what was generated from Tamara Chand, over 8,000 plus. So there's it's something to worry about. Why is Tamara Chand not our top customer this year? Why is he not purchasing? Let's check out what he put, because he's one of our best customers. Looking at his record, so we have to check that. Then we've gotten that already. So what else do you want to look at? I think we've already showed the category of products. So let's see. Most of our products, looking at this, you can see that most of our products are in the most of the products are office supplies. Majority of them, looking at this, majority of them are from the office supplies. Majority. So let's just so majority of the products sold and you might, let's just go back to confirm. Let's check majority of the products. So I'm going to highlight all this. Ctrl C, paste it here, Ctrl V, then let's drag out total profit and drag in total orders. You can see majority of our product sales are office supplies, so I'm just going to go by. I have to confirm that. So majority of the products sold are office supplies. Despite the fact that most of their products are office supplies, technology is still the one leading. So then hit enter. Okay, sorry, I pasted this. For the states where most of our revenues were generated and where least revenues were generated, let's check that out. So you can see anywhere looking at judging based on this map, anywhere you see where the color is darker, a little bit darker, it means that more sales or more revenues were generated in that particular place. And when you see very light color, it means we have least revenue generated from that particular place. And anywhere you see this gray, it means there's no data out there. So let's go back and check our pivot table. Let's see. So judging based on this pivot table, Let's check from 2014. You can see California, New York, Texas are like the top 3 where we generate most of our income from. Then we have South Dakota as the list here, then Nebraska, then Montana. So let's check in 2015. Still California, New York, and Texas. Then let's see the list. We have Mississippi, Kansas, and Maine. Then we have in 2016 we have same California, like the top 3s are just constant. So let's see 2017. You won't find anything in 2018 because the data for that year is not available here. So let's see what happens. Now I would have said we should just use the whole of 20. We can just use everything without applying filter to it and judge based on that, so we know where most of our revenues have been generated from and where least of it. So most of our revenue have been generated from California, New York, and Texas, Washington, like the top 5 here, constant. Then the list we have North Dakota, West Virginia, Maine, South Dakota, District of Columbia, Wyoming. So let's see. Then most of our revenues are generated from California, New York, Texas, Washington, and Pennsylvania. So let's go back and put that California, New York, Texas. So you can see this place is darker now without applying filter. You can see it's darker. This is California, this is New York, this is Texas. So it just depends on the revenue. That's what determines how dark it's going to be. So most of the revenue is generated California, New York, Texas. What other state again? We have Washington, and Florida. So let's go back and check. Texas, Washington, and Pennsylvania. So Washington, and Pennsylvania. While least revenues were generated from so let's go and check the so we have the least revenues were generated from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's Wyoming, South Dakota, Maine. So Wyoming. Let me see if I spelled the name well. Sorry. Wyoming. There's no A. Wyoming, South Dakota, Maine. Don't mind my pronunciation, please. West Virginia and North Dakota. So West Virginia and North Dakota. So with this, they get to know, okay, these are the places where we list it. Although we still have some places like that, the list places too. So we'll check that. Then what else? And you can also decide that, okay, you would like to use a bar chart to show the top 5 states generating the revenue and least 5. Bottom 5 generating least revenue, or 5 generating least revenue. So it depends on what you want to, but this is what I want to just show you, because you can try that out just for practice sake. So what else do I want to do? This I already showed them that these are the places where we generate most of our revenue from, and least are generated from this part of the state. So what else do I want to look at? We've done this. So sleep mode based on orders placed. So most of our orders are placed. Looking at this donut chart here, you can see majority of our orders are placed through the standard class. So it's being the ship mode is standard class. So let's go back and look at the question. It says identify the shipping mode with the highest percentage of shipped orders. So standard mode takes the highest percentage of shipping orders. Standard mode has the highest percentage of shipping orders. Okay, so what else do we want to do? The next question here is calculate the average shipping days for each mode, which we've done that already. So now analyze sales trend over time, including comparison within previous sales. So I think we've already visualized that particular, so we can see the sales trend already here. We've seen it here, but we still have more insight. Once we are done creating now, we can always add it. So let's just go straight down to what is your analysis without recommendation. One of the major problem why you are a data analyst, because not problem, one of the major reason now why you are a data analyst, so that you can provide solution to whatever problem the company you want to help out is facing. So you have to recommend after drawing out your insight from the data you're giving to you, and you've help them answer their questions. So what are you recommending? What do you think they should do? What do you want them to do to help them improve their business? So recommendation so what am I recommending? Now, looking at the objective and some of the insight I've gotten from this data, what do I want to recommend? Now let's look at first. We have from their own objective, they told you, okay, help us know this. Let's know the top 5 customers and how can we keep these customers. So I would say for the top 5 customers that are generating profit for the company, I would say, okay, let's give them give discounts or incentives to customers generating more profit. So I would format that to be normal text now. Generating more profit to the company. And this is just what I'm suggesting to them, what I'm recommending, not suggesting, what I'm recommending that they should do to keep those customers. So I'm recommending they give discounts and also or incentive to customers that are generating more profits for the company. So that way, I also noticed that the customers that were topping last year were not the one topping this year. So what could be the problem? So I would also reach out to the top customer last year, customers in 2016, just to know why they have not been purchasing the way they used to. This is because I've checked the data and I've seen that even these top 5 people for 2016 are not close to the top 5 in 2017. So we have to know what the problem is, why we've not been seeing them, probably engage them to know why we've not been, just reach out to them. Yeah. Why we've not been seeing you purchasing, or what could be the problem, to let them know that they are valuable customers. Why the way they used to. So it might not be your own recommendation, but this is just me, showing us how that there's a need for recommendation anytime. So what else do you want to look at? I think I'm okay with this, what we're going to do for the customers that are earning more. Now, for places where least revenues were generated, I want to recommend that, okay, there should be a conduction of location analysis that just to get to know the factors contributing to that low sales. So I would say conduct location analysis. Okay, I do not. So conduct location analysis for states with low sales to know factors contributing to the low sales. Contributing to low sales. Since I don't, let me just remove this for state. Let me remove this and just put conduct location analysis to know factors contributing to low sales. So they get to know, is it that it is weather condition, or there's something happening that is not making them make more sales in that particular state. So enter the next one. I want to tell them, I want to recommend that they do more advert. So once we know the problem, we know that there's some factors contributing to that, we know how we can now channel that to work in our favor. So more advert in those places, more advert. And say, okay, let's do more adverts. Then what else do I want to recommend? Now provide additional for salespersons there working there. Let's provide additional training for them. Provide additional training to support sales team operating in this area. Sales team operating in the low sales region to enhance their performance. To enhance their performance. So I think these are things I want to recommend for now. So if you have more, of course, why not? You add as many as you can. So I'm going to just bring this here, and so I can drag this up a little bit. So I'll have enough space. So these are what I'm recommending, the things I'm recommending for the business. So what other thing? I don't think I have any other thing I want to recommend here for now. I don't have any other thing I want to recommend. But we can still add more insights. That's when we are done adding our cards to it to make it. So for now, can you see how it wasn't just about building a very beautiful dashboard out. I've not even done it. I just only put the visuals now for me to be able to draw insight from it, right? So what we're going to do now is creating a very, very beautiful report, beautiful dashboard where all this should be placed on it, and anyone seeing it would, of course, data analytics is more of the why, which is the analysis, the problem you want to solve, than the what, which are the tools that you want to use. You want to be defined of everything.